Stop for a moment and listen carefully. Do you hear that faint ringing, buzzing, or high-pitched sound that never seems to go away? Most people are told it's just a normal part of aging, something they have to accept and live with. But what if that assumption is completely wrong? Tinnitus is often dismissed as harmless, yet it may actually be your body sending a warning signal. It's not simply getting older. It's your auditory system struggling, trying to tell you that something deeper is not working the way it should. Instead of being a passive condition, that constant noise could be a sign that your nerves are under stress or lacking the support they need to function properly. The real problem is that many people are reassured by normal test results and never look further. They are told nothing is wrong, even while the ringing continues day and night. But silence doesn't disappear without a reason. When your body sends a signal repeatedly, it's not random, it's a message. Understanding this changes everything. Because if tinnitus is not just an unavoidable part of aging, then it may also be something you can influence, improve, or even reduce once you address the real cause behind it. At the core of persistent tinnitus lies a problem most people never consider: cellular starvation. Your auditory system is made up of highly sensitive nerve cells that require a constant supply of nutrients to function properly. When these cells are not receiving what they need, they don't simply stop working, they begin to malfunction. Think of it like a machine running without enough fuel. Instead of shutting down, it starts producing errors. In the case of your auditory nerve, those errors are the phantom sounds you hear ringing, buzzing, or hissing that seem to come from nowhere. It's not that the sound exists externally, it's being generated internally by stressed, undernourished cells. This is why many people continue to suffer even when standard medical tests appear normal. The issue isn't always structural damage, it's functional deficiency. The cells are still there, but they are struggling to perform due to a lack of essential nutrients. Understanding this shifts the entire perspective. Instead of treating tinnitus as an isolated ear problem, it becomes a broader issue of supporting the cells that drive your hearing system. And once you begin to look at it this way, the next step becomes clear: identifying exactly what those cells are missing and why they are no longer getting it. Another critical factor behind tinnitus is poor microcirculation within the inner ear. Deep inside your ear lies an incredibly delicate system supplied by some of the smallest blood vessels in the entire body. These vessels are so narrow that even a slight reduction in blood flow can have significant consequences. Unlike larger organs, the inner ear does not have a backup blood supply. It depends entirely on consistent, uninterrupted circulation to deliver oxygen and essential nutrients to the auditory cells. When blood flow becomes sluggish due to inflammation, thicker blood, or aging, these tiny vessels can no longer supply what the cells need. As a result, the cells begin to suffocate at a microscopic level. But instead of simply shutting down, they start to send distorted signals to the brain. These signals are interpreted as sound, even though no external noise exists. This is how tinnitus is created, not as a real sound, but as a misfire caused by stressed and undernourished cells. This direct link between circulation and hearing explains why tinnitus often worsens over time or during periods of poor health. It also highlights an important truth: improving blood flow is not just beneficial, it is essential for restoring balance within the auditory system. Zinc plays a crucial role in protecting your auditory system, yet it is one of the most commonly overlooked nutrients in people with tinnitus. The inner ear contains a high concentration of zinc because it is constantly exposed to oxidative stress. Every time your hearing cells process sound, they generate free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage and weaken these delicate structures. Zinc acts as a powerful antioxidant shield, helping to neutralize these harmful effects and protect the integrity of your auditory cells. Without sufficient zinc, these cells become more vulnerable to damage, leading to dysfunction and the misfiring signals associated with tinnitus. However, the issue is not always a lack of intake, it is often a problem of absorption. Many people consume enough zinc through their diet but fail to absorb it effectively. Certain compounds found in processed grains, along with excessive caffeine intake, can block zinc absorption in the body. This creates a hidden deficiency, where the body appears nourished but the cells remain deprived. Addressing both zinc intake and absorption is essential for supporting healthy hearing function and reducing cellular stress. Vitamin B12 is one of the most critical nutrients when it comes to tinnitus, yet it is often overlooked or misunderstood. Its primary role goes far beyond general health. It is essential for maintaining the protective coating around your nerves, known as the myelin sheath. This sheath acts like insulation around an electrical wire, ensuring that signals travel smoothly and accurately. When your body lacks sufficient B12, this protective layer begins to weaken or break down, a process known as demyelination. Without proper insulation, the electrical signals traveling along the auditory nerve start to leak, scatter, or misfire. Instead of clear, controlled communication, the nerve produces erratic activity. Your brain interprets this faulty signaling as sound, ringing, buzzing, or hissing that has no external source. What makes this especially concerning is that many people are told their B12 levels are normal, even when they are far from optimal. As we age, the body's ability to absorb B12 declines significantly, meaning that even borderline levels can still result in functional deficiency at the nerve level. This is why B12 is not just important, it is foundational. Without restoring proper nerve insulation, other interventions may have limited impact. Supporting healthy B12 levels helps stabilize nerve signaling, reduce electrical noise, and address one of the core mechanisms behind persistent tinnitus. Magnesium plays a vital role in calming the nervous system, making it especially important for those experiencing tinnitus. In the brain, magnesium acts like a natural brake, helping to regulate nerve activity and prevent overstimulation. Without enough magnesium, the nervous system can become overly excitable, causing neurons to fire too frequently and too intensely. This excessive activity is closely linked to the perception of ringing or buzzing sounds. When auditory nerves are overstimulated, they can send continuous signals to the brain, even in the absence of real sound. This is why tinnitus often becomes more noticeable during periods of stress or fatigue. Stress further worsens the problem by increasing the release of excitatory chemicals in the brain. Without adequate magnesium to counterbalance this effect, the system enters a state of heightened sensitivity, amplifying the internal noise. By supporting healthy magnesium levels, you help stabilize nerve activity, reduce stress-related overstimulation, and create a more balanced environment for your auditory system to function properly. Vitamin D3 plays a much more important role in the body than most people realize, especially when it comes to nerve health and tinnitus. It is not just a vitamin, it functions like a hormone that helps regulate the repair and protection of the nervous system. In the auditory pathway, vitamin D3 supports the cells responsible for maintaining healthy nerve communication and reducing inflammation. When vitamin D3 levels are low, the body's ability to repair damaged nerve tissue becomes less effective. This can lead to ongoing irritation and dysfunction within the auditory system, contributing to the persistence of ringing or buzzing sounds. Inflammation may also increase, further disrupting normal signaling between the ear and the brain. One of the most common reasons for deficiency is lack of sunlight. As people age, they tend to spend less time outdoors or rely heavily on sun protection, which reduces the body's natural production of vitamin D3. Without adequate levels, the repair process slows down, and the auditory system remains in a stress state. Supporting optimal vitamin D3 levels through safe sun exposure or proper nutrition can help restore balance, promote nerve recovery, and improve overall auditory function. Another often overlooked factor contributing to tinnitus is the use of certain medications known as ototoxic drugs. These are substances that can cause damage to the inner ear, particularly the delicate hair cells responsible for converting sound vibrations into nerve signals. Common examples include some over-the-counter pain relievers like aspirin, as well as certain anti-inflammatory drugs and antibiotics. While these medications may provide short-term relief for other conditions, they can unintentionally place stress on the auditory system. In some cases, they increase oxidative damage or disrupt normal nerve signaling, which may worsen or even trigger ringing in the ears. What makes this especially concerning is that many people use these medications regularly without realizing the potential impact on their hearing. The effect may not be immediate, but over time, repeated exposure can contribute to ongoing irritation within the inner ear. Being aware of this risk is important. If tinnitus is persistent, it may be worth reviewing medications with a healthcare professional to ensure they are not contributing to the problem. Omega-3 fatty acids play a key role in restoring healthy blood circulation, especially in the tiny vessels that supply the inner ear. When the body is in a state of chronic inflammation, the blood can become thicker and less flexible, making it harder to flow through these narrow pathways. This reduces the delivery of oxygen and essential nutrients to the auditory cells, worsening the stress that contributes to tinnitus. Omega-3s help address this issue at its core. They improve the fluidity of blood, reduce inflammation, and support the flexibility of cell membranes. This allows blood to move more freely, even through the smallest vessels, ensuring that critical nutrients like zinc and vitamin B12 can reach the cells that need them most. Without proper circulation, even the best nutrients cannot be delivered effectively. That is why improving blood flow is just as important as increasing nutrient intake. Foods rich in omega-3s, such as wild-caught salmon, sardines, flax seeds, and walnuts, can help support this process naturally. By enhancing circulation and reducing internal inflammation, omega-3s create the conditions needed for healing. They help break the cycle of poor blood flow and cellular stress, allowing the auditory system to gradually recover and function more efficiently over time. When you step back and look at the full picture, tinnitus is rarely caused by a single issue. It is the result of multiple factors working together: nutrient deficiencies, poor circulation, nerve stress, and environmental triggers. Each one may seem small on its own, but over time, they create the conditions that lead to persistent ringing in the ears. The encouraging part is that this also means there is not just one solution. There are multiple ways to support your body and improve the situation. By focusing on proper nutrition, supporting key nutrients like zinc, B12, magnesium, and vitamin D3, and improving blood flow through omega-3s and healthy habits, you begin to address the root causes rather than just the symptoms. You don't need to change everything overnight. Start with simple steps, adjust your diet, pay attention to what your body may be lacking, and reduce factors that could be causing harm. Consistency is what makes the difference. Most importantly, understand this: tinnitus is not always permanent. In many cases, it is a signal that your body needs support, and when you begin to provide that support, change is possible. Over time, the noise can fade, your system can stabilize, and you may begin to experience moments of quiet again. Your body is not working against you, it's asking for help.